Let's go to Navid in Harrow. Navid, good evening.
Good evening, Daniel. Just got a question regarding basically it's a work-related incident. So I was a branch manager for one of the leading storage companies. And so part of the day-to-day duty, they asked me to paint the floor every 6 months. So during that painting, I have while I was doing the painting, I pushed the mousetrap with my leg, made a bad fall, and I had a nasty broken my hand, so I hand in 3 different places.
Sorry, you pushed the mousetrap with your leg. You mean there was a mousetrap on the floor, you knocked it with your foot, that gave you a fright, You fell over?
So I broke my hand. I was off work for about 3 months.
Yep.
But that's not the only case. So my hand, the nerves are damaged, and the diagnosis it takes at least 5 years to go back to normal. So I made a claim toward the company by myself, and the claim was rejected by the company, saying that you have signed some of the paperwork, which is the health and safety, but on my contract, there's never mention of the actual painting duty on the contract.
When you say you made a claim, do you mean you took them to court, or do you mean you just...
No, just literally made a claim. The head office, and the head office threw it out.
Okay. How long ago was this?
6 months ago.
What are you asking me, Navid?
So the question is whether I have got any against them.
To have a case against them, and it sounds like that's a really nasty injury you've had there. To have a claim against an employer, you've got to show they had an unsafe system of work. I instinctively don't think that if they have a mousetrap on the floor, that's unsafe. And I think if you knock the mousetrap with your foot and you fall over because you get a fright, I think that's an accident, isn't it? I don't think that's really blameworthy on the part of the employer. Or do you disagree?
Sorry, just to correct that. So we, myself and the colleagues there, we painted the floor. So while we were painting the floor, I pushed the mousetrap with my leg side.
I think you might have been saying something really important there and you broke up. Will you say it again?
So while we were painting the floor, so we were asked to paint the floor. So when we were painting the floor, I pushed the mousetrap with my leg aside, and the floor was wet with the paint. So I fall and I broke my hand. But the actual painting duty is not in my actual contract.
I see.
Itself.
So you didn't catch your foot in the mousetrap and fall over because of the fright. You slipped on wet floor.
Wet floor, that's right.
Which you yourself had just painted. Navid, had you yourself just painted it?
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Yeah. So you knew it was wet. What should your employer have done to avoid this accident?
Nothing, no. My question is, it wasn't on my contract part of the day-to-day duty to paint the floor.
Yeah, that's not going to matter. That's not going to matter. And clearly you were doing it because you said you've been doing it every 6 months.
6 months, that's right.
Yeah, no, the fact it's not written down as one of your duties is irrelevant. To win a claim to win a personal injury claim, you've got to show they had an unsafe system of work. You slipped on wet paint that you just painted yourself. I don't think that's their fault, Navid. I think that's your fault, isn't it?
But that's what the company says.
That's what I say as well. I mean, how is this not your fault? Explain, because I might be wrong. Explain to me how this isn't your fault.
I thought that because it was not in my contract, and they forced me to.
Oh, they didn't force you to do it. They asked you to do it, and you did it quite happily every 6 months.
Yeah, that's right.
Is it in your contract that you should breathe during the day?
Sorry, what was the question again?
Is it in your contract that you should breathe during the day?
No, it's not. No.
No. Do you breathe during the day? Are they forcing you to breathe?
Yes, many times.
Yeah. Do you get the point I'm making, Navid?
100%.
Okay. I think, Navid, there's no claim there. I'm very sorry. It does sound like a really, really bad injury, and I'm very sorry for the pain you're in and the discomfort, but you don't have a claim against your employer.
Really appreciate your information. Thank you.
Thank you, Navid.